Cooking dates for no one. So tonight, thank you for coming to our January Cookie Connection. I'm Shayla, the Director of Product Program, and I'm joined with Danny. Everybody say hi.
Hello.
My fearless partner in crime in the cookie world. All right, tonight we are going to talk about. I thought we had a table of contents list here. Maybe it'll show up. But I did want, we're just going to talk about things that are specific to what is happening in January. And this is more of an open communication type. So if you have a question, go ahead and raise your hand. We would do ask that you stay muted just so that everybody can hear. But if you raise your hand, if you have a question, we can stop and let you ask that question out loud, or you can ask it in the chat. We're going to look at some things on PowerPoint, and then we're going to switch over to digital cookie and smart cookies and kind of walk you through some of those things. So a couple of things we're going to talk about today are the initial order and how to place that initial order, some housekeeping things with paperwork that you should already have in your arsenal, as well as the booth selection, and just a little bit about Mega Drop and home delivery in the event of like preparing for that. All right, so this is our cookie calendar. We are at the Cookie Connection training on January 6th. In 2 days, we have our initial order is due that needs to be submitted into Digital Cookie by January 8th. At 11, I say at 11:58 because everybody's clocks could be a little different, right? And it will shut off and not let you enter it. So I would say by 11:58 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you need to have that in. So for those of you that are in Pensacola and Panama City, that would be 10:58 for you in Smart Cookie, and we're going to walk through that process. Booth Lottery will come up next. That starts January 19th and ends on January 23rd. So it is a week-long process. And we're going to go through how to select those booths um, as well as how many the allotments that you get each individual day. And home delivery and Mega Drop comes right at the end of the month. One thing that we already have going right now, and I wanted to mention to make sure that you guys were receiving it, is our Cookie Communications newsletter. It comes out every Tuesday. You actually should have received one tonight. I think they generally come out about 6:30, 7 o'clock um, at night on Tuesdays. So if you did not receive that today, then you'll want to reach out to our customer care team and have them get you put back on the list. If you've ever opted out of Constant Contact, it's taken you off of the list, and we can't opt you back into that. So if you reach out to customer care, they can help you with getting opted back into Constant Contact, and you'll be able to receive the cookie communications every Tuesday. And that's where we are going to um, put our most prominent news for the week in the cookie world. Also, Cookie Graham is the newsletter that goes out, I believe, on Fridays, every other Friday. That newsletter goes to caregivers. And so it is very similar to the cookie communications, but just focuses on the things that caregivers need to know to help their Girl Scouts through the cookie season and support them at boothing and things. So keep an eye on your inbox for those. The Rally Hood, we have our TPM Rally Hood page and our Cookies for Caregivers Rally Hood page. You can be a member of both. And anything that's quick that comes up instantly, we're going to post it there first. There's also lots of fun clip art that you can use for social posts. All your forms that you need are on there. So those are really great places to be a part of during the cookie season. And then, of course, our last communications forum is the Cookie Connection call. And so we're glad you joined us tonight and hopefully in the months in the future. Donna, did you have a question that pertained to communications? All right. Um, for the caregiver debt forgiveness, we're not going to talk about what this is or anything like that. This will be uh, something that we talk about in March. But I wanted to point out to you that these two forms at the top are forms that you should already have. You should already have your signed girl product participation form signed by the caregivers for every Girl Scout that's participating in the product season. Now, if you had that signed for sweets and treats, it still applies to cookie season, but you need to keep that on file. A girl cannot participate in the cookie program without that form. And then you also want to have a signed caregiver training form, which can be downloaded on our website. That is just when you do your family meeting, you have your caregiver sign off on that, and that's just showing that both you as the TPM and the caregiver are on the same page and understand the way cookie season is going to flow for the troop that year. So to qualify to even submit for a caregiver debt forgiveness, those two signed forms have to be on file. So you should have those already signed. And then as we move into cookies in hand with Mega Drop, then you're going to be giving out cookies. You need to make sure you keep your receipts and then keep any receipts for payments made by the caregiver as well. Another thing that we're going to talk briefly just to touch on tonight is Care to Share. That has already started happening, but this is something that all through the season you're going to want to upkeep by comparing digital cookie and looking to see if girls have any Care to Share and transferring that over to Smart Cookie. For our new TPMs, Care to Share is when people are buying donated cookies from your Girl Scouts. And if they purchase them as a shipped only on Digital Cookie or as a donation only on Digital Cookie, then those boxes flow over to Smart Cookie automatically, and you don't have to do anything with those. It's the payments are going to flow over and the cookies are going to flow over. And so those are fine. But you will want to run a report to see if any girl gets a donation order with girl delivery, because at that point you're going to have to create that. You're going to have to apply that cookie box to the girl in Smart Cookie, because the payment is going to automatically flow over. So you need to give her credit for the box as well, or it's going to mess you up financially. This is something that we're going to talk a lot about and look at how to do that. If we have time, we can look at it today, but it really comes into play once you get cookies. So it's something that we'll pay a lot of attention to next month. But I wanted to put this here so that every month you're hearing it. This is something that we really have to do, and this can financially mess your troop up if we don't um, get those cookies transferred over to Smart Cookie. So before we move into initial order, is there any questions about this or the communications or anything we need to talk about?
One question is, what was that report you just said called for to pull Care to Share in Digital Cookie?
It is called the manual cookie share. Let me, you know what? Hold on. I'm just going to pull it up real quick. Let me pull it up because I don't know the exact name and I don't want to tell you wrong. But if you give me a minute, I will show you.
Shayla, is it in Smart Cookie or is it in digital? The one in digital says all data.
Digital is the one that I would pull. I just the one in Smart Cookie, and it could be fine, guys. I don't know. It's brand new. They just added it this year. So there could be kinks. I don't know. I would personally pull the one out of Digital Cookie just to make sure that you got the right person or the right report. And if you give me a second, I can
Is
log
there
in.
like a job aid or something that I could take a look at? I'm driving, so I'm just wondering if you have handouts or anything that you shared that will explain some of this.
Yeah, absolutely. There will be, this is being recorded. It will be online as well, but there are all of these forms and things are in our Explore More resources. So you'll be able to access them there. And Danny can take down your name and we can send you any documents that we're referring to as well.
Then while you look that up, Shayla, can you explain where the cookies from Care to Share go, and do troops need to include it in their initial order?
No, no, you do not need to include any Care to Share orders in your initial order. Care to Share is filled at the end of season with stock from the cupboards, or it's ordered in from the baker. It's not something that's filled from the troops physical stock. So when you are looking at your initial order, if you participated last year as a troop, you want to take into account how many Care to Share orders as well as how many shipped orders make up your total box sales, because you want to subtract those out. I think we sent out an email right before Christmas. Everybody that participated last year got those numbers, how many total boxes they sold, as well as how many Care to Share and shipped. Because when you put it in the cookie calculator, it gives you a place to deduct that so that you don't order them. So no, do not order Care to Share packages or shipped packages. At the end of season, once we get everything is all wrapped up, then troops have the ability to reach out to us and say, hey, we want to be a part of delivering some of these. And you can go to your local cupboard and pick up however many and take them to a location of your choice, somewhere local to you that means something to you. So a shelter, uh, first responders, fire department, police department, a food bank, anything like that. You just fill out a form and show us your interest, and then you can pick them up at the cupboard, and you and your girls can take those and deliver them to your local location. All right. So this is Digital Cookie, and this is what it looks like when you log in as a troop leader. And so this is your dashboard. Now, there's not a whole lot hanging on, going on here right now, but this report that you're going to pull is this all order data. And you just hit Get Report, and it pulls up like this. So, and I actually have this filtered out for only in-person deliveries, but it pulls up, it'll show you all of your girls. This line F pulls up your, whether it's in-person delivery or not. Let me clear this off. And then you would scroll over to your order status. And that lets you know whether this report is good for a lot of things. This lets you know if something needs approval, if it's a shipped order and it's pending, or if it's already been shipped. So this tells you where your order status is for any girl in your troop. But the first thing I would do would be set this to a filter it out for in-person delivery, because with donation, because those are the only ones that you have to worry about pulling over to Smart Cookie. You can see here that this little girl has one order. She has 2 boxes of donations, and so you would move those 2 boxes to Smart Cookies. Now, next month, we're going to go through and actually work through it and show you the process from start to finish. And I want to overwhelm you with that yet, but I wanted you to know and think about it because it is something that we have to stay on top of during the cookie season. There's also quite a few handouts. Danny, remind me, is there a training on this? Tell me what the resources for them are.
Yes, so we for Care to Share, there's a smart cookies training, and then we will be creating our own council-based training that will walk you from beginning to end. So all the way from the reports in Digital Cookie all the way through submission in Smart Cookie. And that should be available a little later this month on our Explore More page under Care to Share. Yeah, Cookie Share.
Cookie Share. So this is something that you're gonna hear more about. It's not too much. We don't have to worry about it as much right now, but getting familiar with the reports, getting familiar with that Care to Share Explore More resources page on our website. will be super beneficial to help you have a successful and a stress-free cookie season. All right, so let's talk about initial order. And I should have probably pulled up the cookie calculator, but order deadline is tomorrow, is in a couple of days. And hopefully by now you've talked to your Girl Scouts, you've talked to your caregivers, you've got an idea of what their individual goals are, of what your troop goal is, and you've kind of pulled that all together and decided how many cookies, how many boxes your troop wants to achieve this year. Now, if you look at the cookie calculator, let me go ahead and bring that up really quick. Actually, let me look at it on our webpage. If you go to our website and go to cookie program for volunteers, the cookie calculator is listed right here for you. And it's super easy to use. I do want to make sure I point out that this tool is just a tool. It's a resource for you. It is designed to help you estimate the number of cookies that your troop, that your girls are comfortable with ordering. This is not a recommended order by council because you can finesse it any way you want. But if you have 10 girls in your troop, and last year, they sold at 250 PGA, and you did get that information on the email that sent out if you sold last year. And you know that you sold 100 packages of that was combined shipping and care to share. If you put those numbers in, how many girls are selling this year, what your per girl average was last year, also what your sales were from combined care to share and shipping, then it tells you how many packages your troop would need to order to get that per girl average the same this year. This is physical packages that you would need to order. So you can here at this point determine whether you want to order 75% of that, 85% of that. And as you see, as I'm toggling through this, it's letting you know it's changing how many cases you need to order, you need to put in. These varieties are based on our Gateway Council's historical sales. So this is Thin Mints. Typically, every year that I've done cookies, Thin Mints has sold at 26%. If you call me and say, how many Thin Mints should I order? I'm going to say to you, you need to order 26% because it's that way across the nation and it is very much that way in our council. Caramel chocolate chip, the gluten-free, is 2% of our orders. It is 2% of our entire council order. It is 2% of most troops orders, and it's 2% of the nation. So you really can't argue with this. Now, if you're a troop who happens to be a part of a club that's all gluten-free, you may sell 3% because you're specialized, but the average is 2% per troop. And I wouldn't suggest you order over that. So if you feel like whatever this is telling you right now, that this troop with 10 girls wanting to keep it in an average of 250 per girl should order 190 cases. And if that makes you feel a little bit nervous, drop it down a little bit or drop down your PGA a little bit. The biggest point of this tool is to help you determine the variety of cases that you need to order, not necessarily the total cases that you need to order. You figure out how many total cases you want, but this will break down the variety for you so that you can enter it into Smart Cookie. So let's look at entering it into Smart Cookie real quick. Let me sign in.
While you're doing that, I do have a question. We're a first time, like the girls are in first grade and second grade. Do you have a recommendation of how many cookies to order per girl for, the first time selling? Because we don't know where to start. And it's been like 13 years since I was a cookie mom.
Sure. I would say that, excuse me, some of that is going to be based on how active your girls want to be. If they're out there and they have a whole lot of goals, then you can get a little higher. But up at the top of this calculator, you can see our council averages for a Daisy troop, a Brownie troop. This is all of our Brownie troops combined and what they averaged out as a PGA. I would say my advice to you would be to order on the conservative side because you can go pick up additional cookies at the cupboard later. And we don't foresee any problem with getting a reorder and getting stock in. So I would order on the conservative side first, but get your varieties right. Make sure that you're using the varieties. I probably would not go over 250 PGA per girl as a new troop. Not from the first set of um not for my first cookie season.
All right, thank you. And then one last question. So is it the same as previous years where you pick up the cookies and you don't need to give cash then? Like there's dates where you owe the cash in from the cookie sales. Like you don't pre-give the money.
Correct. There is absolutely. Our first ACH, and actually the next slide, I'm going to show you the dates for the ACH. But our first ACH pool is February 16th. And now at this point, we have moved to ACH. So you just have to deposit your cookie money into your troop bank account. And then we will pull that money from your account. You'll get an email from us letting you know how much. And then the next day we'll pull it out. All right.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I just said thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Okay, so let's look at how to place an initial order. Let me get into this is Smart Cookie. I'm sure y'all have been in it by now. And this is our training site, so you're not going to see anything that's real, but I don't feel like this was the trip I was going to use. Does it matter what troop I use? No, I don't really think it does.
It
All
was 1130.
That's what I put in here. It's the wrong person.
I think you're under the girl. Is that the girls?
Manage troops. Yeah, here she is. This is the girl we've been playing with. Yeah. Okay. So this is what your troop dashboard looks like when you go in. Now this troop, we've been doing some things with this troop, so she already has some cookies on hand, but we're going to go through the process of putting in your initial order. So once you've used your cookie calculator and you've made sure that you know what you're going to order, you will go log into Digital Cookie and you're going to go to the Troop Initial Order tab. When you pull it up, you're going to see all of your varieties here. They're not in order of the cookie calculator. So keep that in mind. Make sure you're double checking which variety you're filling it out for. And these are in total cases. All initial orders have to be, all orders in general, even covered orders, have to be entered as total cases. So all you have to do is decide how many cases you want for each one. And then when you get down to the bottom, you can hit save. You don't have to hit ready for review. I would suggest that you don't hit ready for review. The reason that I say that is because if something happens and an hour later you realize, oh, I put the wrong number in and you want to go back and change it, you can't change it if you hit ready for review. So you'd have to reach out to your CPM to have it unlocked. If you just click save, it's still going to show up in there and we'll submit it on our end once we get through it. So once you do hit save though, it's going to pull up your delivery station. Now, this is where you would pick up your mega drops. Again, these are not accurate. So don't write down these addresses or anything. And there will be a long list. There will be a home delivery list, and then there's going to be mega drop locations. Each of the mega drop locations are going to show you like the name of the business and the city in which it is. And the home delivery is going to say home delivery and then the city. So if you qualify for home delivery and you want to get home delivery, to get that, you have to order 600 cases. You can click home delivery wherever you live. So if you live in Pensacola, you would click home delivery Pensacola. And it's, I'm sorry, it is not require an appointment. So a message like this is going to come up that says you don't require an appointment and you just hit save and move on. Now, then what happens is we are going to reach out to you by email the very next day. We're going to make sure you qualify. We're going to reach out to you by email and we're going to say we need to make sure we know who's going to be there to collect the cookies, who's the contact for this, and what address do you want them delivered to. There is a deadline for you to turn in that address to us. The reason for that deadline is because we have to get it to the distributor, and then the distributor takes all 30 of the troops that he's delivering for and puts them in a schedule, and then we have to get that schedule back out to you. So there's a lot of things that have to happen in the 2 weeks before the cookies come out. So if you do qualify for home delivery and you want home delivery, the very next day after initial order, keep an eye on your email. You want to get that email. If we don't get a response from you, we can't contact you and we can't get verification of the address that you want the cookies delivered to, then your troop will be put on the closest mega drop location with an available appointment. And so, because now everything's already submitted, if your closest mega drop location is St. Augustine, but they don't have any appointments, and now we've waited a week because we've been trying to get in touch with you, then you might have to travel to Jacksonville to get your cookies. So I can't stress enough to watch your email if you're home delivery and to make sure that you submit that, turn it right back around and submit it. Don't wait till the deadline. Just go ahead and get it in. It helps us get the cookies to you faster. The quicker we can get these to the distributors, the quicker they can get us the schedule back. If you're going to Mega Drop, I do think that I forgot to go in here and add some times. But if you're going to a Mega Drop location, you're going to click on your location. It does have a little Google map that shows you exactly where it is. You will click on the Mega Drop date and then the morning or afternoon, whatever time of day you would like to go. Click on the time and click on the exact time, which is every like 5 minutes, and click save. And there you go. You are now set for your delivery. This is for a Mega Drop location. That is all set. And you just head out. You're done now. You've already clicked save and you're all set to go. You can hop in and look at your recognitions. If you order 250 per 250 packages per registered girl in your troop, then the girls will get a little beaded bracelet. Maybe it's not in here. They'll get a little beaded bracelet and a patch, and then the troop itself is going to get a table runner, a purple table runner that's branded for Gateway Council. It's real cute. Look it up on your order card. But you don't really have to do anything in the rewards. All you have to do is come in and hit submit. There's only one reward option, so it's not a choice in here. All right. Are there any questions on submitting initial order?
Not at this time.
All right. Let me see if I can get my PowerPoint back up. I think I can.
Oh, wait, as soon as I said that, we got a question.
All right.
So just to clarify, when you put an initial order, you do not have to do it by girl.
No, and actually you cannot do it by girl with ABC. We are kind of a direct sell council, so no, it would all be by troop.
Perfect. And then can you please say that again about the purple table runner?
The purple table runner, I can. Danny, while I'm saying it, can you pull up
Yes.
a picture of it? Yeah, thanks. I can. So if your troop orders 250 packages per registered girl, then each girl in your troop will get initial order reward, a cute little bracelet that's brave, fierce, and fun. And Danny's going to show us pictures in a second. Um, and then there's a purple table, sorry, table runner. We have I don't know if you've seen the cookie booth kits, and actually, let me skip past some of this stuff. Oh, table runner's not on here. This is the purple tablecloth that is for sale in the cookie booth kits. And the table runner matches that. Did you get it pulled up, Danny?
Yes. I was just gonna let you know I'm about to take your screen from you.
Okay, you can take it. Girl, let's hope it don't mess it all up. Took me 15 minutes to get set up. All right, here we go. So this is the table runner that matches the purple tablecloth, and this is obviously not an actual picture of it. It's an artist. It's an art form. We do have the table runners in, so if you're going to Cookie Rally, you can see them there. I will say that this tablecloth is really great this year. It's lightweight. It's not real heavy like our green tablecloths that we've had in the past. It's real lightweight. We can even ship it to you. Won't cost very much this year because it's so lightweight. Um, and it fits nicely and has slits that make it lay nicely when you put it on the table. So it's a really cute tablecloth, and this runner pairs with it very nicely, and that is branded with Girl Scouts of Gateway Council. And here on the right hand side or left hand side, you'll see the little beaded BFF bracelet and our super cute Go Getter ferret patch. So that's what you get if you order 250 packages per registered girl.
Then
All right, am I sharing my screen right?
you are.
Okay.
Couple more questions. Before we get into that, Ariel, we see your question about Cookie Booth Kit. You can go ahead and place your order. Once we receive your order, we'll send you an email for you to confirm which location you would like to pick up your Cookie Booth Kit, either Cookie Rally or Mega Drop, and then you'll just email us back. And then question for you, Shayla. Can you clarify if all of our initial orders are via Digital Cookie Girl delivery, do we need to manually input those into initial order, or are they automatically inputted it into Smart Cookie?
If they are girl delivery, you will still need to place an initial order for them. Yes. They do not automatically go over into Smart Cookie.
Perfect. And then do I get the paper order counts from my Scout and add it together in my initial order, or is there a way for it to be done separately?
So I do think I don't did we turn that feature off in Digital Cookie?
Yeah, so the initial order feature in Digital Cookie is off.
And let me tell you, there is a way. And let me tell you why we determined to leave it off. And if y'all decide that you want to take this chance and leave it on, then at the end of the year survey, let us know. And we'll turn it on for you next year. But we really did it out of protection for you guys. So there is an initial order, a place in Digital Cookie where caregivers could put in their initial order. The problem with that is that it does automatically flow over to the troop, and those cookies get ordered whether you ever go into Smart Cookie and verify it. It's kind of like an automatic thing, and we did not want anyone to be able to order cookies under your name without you having knowledge of it. So we turned that feature off. There is no way currently right now that electronically it will automatically go into Smart Cookie, and that's out of protection for you guys because we don't ever want anybody to be able to order cookies under your name. Um, if y'all would like to see that next year at the end of the year survey, please put it in there because I mean we're happy to talk about it. I don't know that it's necessary for you to go through each one of your girls and say, "Hey, I need to see your order card." You can, but if you've determined that as a troop that you want to, they've only had a few days, right, to get the girl delivery, or to get orders. So if you've determined as a troop that you want to hit 300 boxes, 300 packages for your cookie season this year, then I would just order based on that, based on your troop goals, based on the variety breakdown that we show you either in the cookie calculator or manually by using these variety percentages here. I would just do it that way. I wouldn't overcomplicate it and gather up all of these orders. I would probably look at Digital Cookie at the all orders and filter it out by girl delivery just to kind of get an idea. But definitely, if you've already have a troop goal in mind, then you can just place that. Another thing that I want to point out here on the Explore Mores, this is new. So I did say to you that these percentages were based on Gateway's last season's sales, and they are. Explore Mores obviously wasn't around, so we don't have sales for that. Typically, new cookies start out at 10%, 9 to 10, even 11% of your sale because people are excited about them and they want to try them. But again, caution is key. You're going to be able to get these cookies in the cupboard. We don't foresee any kind of problems. So don't over order on Explore Mores and then end up stuck with them at the end of the year.
All right. Next question is, I have a girl who registered yesterday who is not, I'm sorry, it just disappeared, who is not currently showing on my troop yet. Will she still qualify for the initial order bracelet?
Yeah, the initial order bracelet is based on how many girls are registered in your troop. So are you saying she's not in your troop in Salesforce, or I tell you what, Danny, we can reach out to you tomorrow. We will make sure your girl is counted. We'll make sure we get her wherever she needs to be. But the initial order will be based on however many girls that are registered to you, to this troop, to your troop in Salesforce on January 8th.
Perfect. And then just to clarify, does Digital Cookie stay live and open until March 15th?
Yes. Yes, it does. Digital Cookie shipped, the shipped option shuts off on March 8th. But Digital Cookie itself is open for sales and payments until March 15th. And then it's open for record keeping even longer. I think it's open until almost May for the record, I think end of April. So you could get in there and look and pull reports, but you wouldn't be able to like sell any more cookies or take any credit card payments after March 15th.
Perfect. And then for girl deliver orders placed by Thursday during this initial order period are not automatically included.
No. Girl delivery orders from Digital Cookie are not automatically included in the Smart Cookie. They do not flow over at all. You as a TPM have to go into Smart Cookie and allocate those girls, transfer those cookies to those girls. So you can pull a Digital Cookie report and see that Sally needs 20 Thin Mints, but then you have to go into Smart Cookie and transfer those 20 Thin Mints to Sally. There's nothing automatic flowing over about girl delivery orders.
All right. Two more questions. I have a couple of girls who decided not to sell cookies. Is it too late to remove them from my roster?
I mean, you can remove them. It doesn't affect in any way. It doesn't affect you if they're on there or not. They don't count against you. Troop proceeds are 90 cents per box. So every box of cookies, every package of cookies that your troop sells, you get 90 cents. It doesn't matter how many girls are participating or not. So it doesn't affect you at all. We can remove them though.
I have some Girl Scouts that are siblings, and their parents have difficulty tracking inventory and sales between them. Do you have a suggestion of how to make this process easier for families that has more than one child selling?
I don't have a suggestion that I can say real good today, but I can call, and I think that that's a really valid point, and it's a really good question. And I can see Danny's writing it down right now, and I can say that we are going to work on giving you some kind of document. My advice, without having the proper tools to show you on this PowerPoint presentation, it will definitely be something we talk about in March. But my advice is to have the caregiver allocate those cookies and split those cookie cells based on what is most beneficial for the family in the reward structure. So it would really be beneficial for a family of multiple girls if each girl was able to get to 390, because then they would have their membership paid for. But if their goal is to get to a free week of camp, then it might be more financially beneficial for them to put all of their sales on one girl to get that one girl to camp for free. It really depends on what the goal of the family is, and what the goals of the girls are, and what makes the most sense for them beneficially. But we will pull something together that helps families work through that thought process. I think we've already got a document started. It's just not completed. Um, we'll get that sent out in the next couple of Troop Scoops. We'll make or put it on Rallyhood, probably is a better place for it. And then we will definitely really dive into that in March. All right. The last thing I want to say about this, before we move on, is that customers tend to purchase the most cookies during the first few weeks of the sale. 75% of our sales are the first cookie booth weekend. That is when customers see it first, the first time they purchase the most. So the key to having a successful sale is to have your variety mix appropriate so that you have all the right varieties. You don't want to get out there in the first week of booth season and run out of Thin Mints or Caramel Delights, because they are the most popular. So use your cookie calculator. If you have any questions, your CPMs are experts at this cookie information and at placing initial order. And if they are not sure, then they know who to call. They have a whole team and they can reach out to one of us to get some additional information. They know where to find the answers. So if you have any questions, if you are concerned, if you want somebody to walk through it with you, call your CPMs, call customer care. Danny and I are at work every day. We will be happy to walk you through this over the next couple of days and make sure that your initial order is right for your troop. All right. The one thing I want to say about the Cookie ACH is that the first initial pull is on February the 16th. That is 30% of your balance owed to the council. So it's going to take out your proceeds that your troop would make. Uh, Also, it does account for any payments that are made in Digital Cookie. We'll talk more about that in February, but initial order cannot be placed without the troop bank account listed in Smart Cookie. And so we're going to give you one call and we're going to try to get your bank account. If you go in and you put your cookies in and you submit your order and you pick your Mega Drop appointment, we're going to call you and we're going to say, hey, we don't have your account number. We're going to call you once, but we're on a time crunch. So we can't afford a lot more time than that. If we can't get you and we can't get your bank account number, we're going to delete your initial order. You're going to lose your Mega Drop appointment and you're going to have to place your order at a cupboard later after the orders are delivered. And you will not get cookies on the first weekend of booths. So I cannot stress this enough that if you do not have your bank account listed in Smart Cookie currently, or when you place your order, you need to put it in there because it does have a possibility of getting canceled, and you will not be able to get cookies until after booth season has already started, the first weekend. Our local cupboards do not open until Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. They are all volunteer ran. If any of you would like to volunteer to run a cupboard, please reach out to us. We are always looking for happy volunteers. But they're volunteer ran. And so they open based on the schedule of the volunteers that are managing that cupboard. So if you don't get your cookies for initial order, it will be into the next week. There will be no way for you to get cookies the first weekend. All right. Do we have any questions? Candace, I see you have your hand up.
Did you unlock it so that troops could put their bank accounts in? Because remember, we locked it in
Yeah.
December.
Yeah.
So they can go in now?
Yeah, they can still go in.
Okay, I'll make sure to put that out. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. It is unlocked so that troops can enter it. You can still go in and enter it yourself. I don't remember where I was going with that. It will be locked down. That's where I was going with that. It will be locked down after initial order. So once we hit initial order and we submit it, we also turn off the ability to manipulate the bank account information. And immediately the next week, you're going to see a penny go in your account and a penny come out of your account, because that's just us verifying that the account's active. But I'm not saying that you can't change the bank account information after that. If you change your account, you can certainly call us at customer care and update that bank account information, but you physically, personally won't be able to manipulate it. Kelly, do you have a question?
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify, will Juliet's get the 250 per girl average patch if they order 250 for their initial?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
They will.
Thank you.
If a Juliet orders 250 packages, they will qualify for the initial order reward. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Do we have any other questions before we move into talking about booths?
Yes.
I'm happy to be here all night, guys. And Danny, I'm going to say this to you to look through the questions, because I do want to be respectful of everyone's times, and we do need to get through the booth section. So if there are some questions that are very personal to a troop, we are happy to stay on after the meeting and answer those types of questions. But we do need to move into booths. So
one question just for bank account. If there's an issue with the bank account when you do that little $1 pull, will a troop be contacted? We have a new troop leader who just wants to make sure everything's entered correctly.
yeah, absolutely. The troop will be contacted. Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah. We'll reach out to you by phone first. If we can't get you on the phone, then we'll send you an email. Now, we won't do that for initial order. So let me clarify. If there's a problem with your account after, we will obviously take our time and try to get you either by phone or by email. If we don't get it figured out by Megadrop, you're not going to be able to pick your cookies up, right? But we're going to order them. If you don't have a bank account in the system and we can't reach you by phone on the next day, January 9th, your initial order will be canceled. So just want to make sure that everybody's on the same page with that. All right.
Good.
We're good?
Yep.
All right. So booths, let's talk about booths for a little bit. I just wanted to put this in here about the booth incentive. So we need as many volunteers as we can get with our boots on the ground out there going to our stores and our retail locations and trying to obtain booths for the council. And so if you want to be a part of that process and you want to help, reach out to your local CPM. They keep a spreadsheet of all the stores in the area, and they know if people have already approached them or if we have signed contracts. But if you do help and you secure a location, then you get an extra pick. Your troop gets an extra pick before booth selection starts. So you get to pick one of the hotspot locations before any other troop gets in there to do it. So it's a nice incentive. And when we say that you have 60 booth selections for the entire season as a troop, this, if you help with this incentive, gives you 61 because this does not count towards your 60 booth selections. The deadline to get these in to earn that booth selection, that extra booth selection, is January 16th. So if you want to be a part of this initiative, you want to go ahead and reach out to your CPM now and make sure that you can be a part of that. These are the hotspot locations that you would be approaching. And it could be, you may have something in your community that's not on this list. That's why we tell you to contact your CPM. You cannot approach these locations without talking to them first. You actually can't approach any retail location without talking to them first. And then we do that to make sure that, we don't have troops that are competing against each other and right next door. We are a Girl Scout family. We are not competitors here in our cookie booth world. So we just want to make sure that we know where everybody's at. Keep in mind, the official cookie booth season is 5 weeks long. It starts February 6th. That's on Friday. And it goes until March the 8th. So when you're talking and thinking about your initial order for cookie season, you are trying to determine how many cookies and how many booths you're going to do, your troop is going to do before March 8th. You want to have, ideally, you want to have your whole cookie season wrapped up on March 8th. Cleanup week is March 9th through 15th. And what that is designed for is to finish up the paperwork, the digital cookie share allocations, making sure that you got all the rewards for your girls. Digital cookie shipped gets turned off at that time. So cleanup week is really supposed to be just for you to be able to clean it up. Now we will upload some extra booths that week for the troops that still have remaining inventory and are trying to move that inventory. So cupboards will be shut down. You won't be able to get any additional cookies, but you can go in and choose an additional 15 booths that week of cleanup. Let's look at the booth selections, and then we're going to go into Smart Cookie and look at how to reserve them. So booth selection starts on January the 19th, and Truth's going to be able to go in and select 2 booth locations. Every night on these days, the booth selections start at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6:30 Central Standard Time. So at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, you're going to log into Smart Cookie and you're going to be able to select 2 booths on January the 19th. Now, if you participated in the booth initiative, you will already have 1 booth secured in there that we secure behind the scenes for you. And then you'll get to pick 2 more on the 19th. At noon on the 20th, it's shut down. You can't pick any more booths. At noon on the 20th. We do that so that we can go in and upload any additional booths that we have gotten that have came in that time frame. Now, if you, on the 20th at 7:30, you're going to be able to log back in and select 2 more booths. If you didn't log in on the 19th, you still only get to select 2 more booths. It's not an accumulating number. If you don't log in on the 19th and you wait till the 20th to log in, you select 2. You don't get 4. You select 2. So if you don't log in one night, you miss it. You get from 7:30 p.m. to 12 noon the next day. So the 20th you do 2 booths, the 21st you do 3 booths, the 22nd you do 3 booths, and then on the 22nd it's over. You get to the 23rd at 7:30 p.m. We'll open it up and you can go up to 50 booth slots. Once you hit that, and that will carry on. There's no more shutting it off. We just upload booths as we get them, if we get any additional booths. So once you get to January 23rd, it won't be shut off again. But then on March 2nd, we will hold one more lottery for the cleanup week. So if your troop is still got some cookies left over and you feel like you might need a couple of additional booths, troops will be able to go in and choose an additional 15 booth slots on March the 2nd. Are there any questions about the booth selection? Okay. All right. One thing that we do want to talk to you about, and I think it's very important that we mention this tonight, is that boothing as we know it as Girl Scouts is changing, right? Grocery shopping is changing. The way that people do business is changing. And the biggest part about owning your own business is to be able to pivot with those changes as times change. And we need to be able to meet our customers where they are. And where they are is not necessarily at Publix anymore. Typically, that's been our go-to. That's been our golden egg. And if you could get a Publix booth, you were gold. You'd sell 200 boxes at that booth. That is not the way it is anymore. I only go to Publix a couple times a year now. I get most of my groceries delivered. When I go to Publix, I'm picking up a birthday cake. So also, our big box retailers are not being as free with their storefront time. And there's a lot of other organizations that are trying to get in front of that store as well. There's high school fundraisers, there's church fundraisers, there's community fundraisers, there's Boy Scouts. So we are in a lot of competition. So as we move forward in the next few years, I don't know that retail, big box retailers, is where our bread and butter is going to be. So, where is our bread and butter going to be, you ask? I don't really know, but I think our girls know. And if you use this Pitch Your Cookie Spot worksheet, this is available on our website. You can go in, have a group, have a meeting with your Girl Scouts and start talking to them about owning your own business. Truly, the cookie program is a lesson and a learning aspect of being their own entrepreneur. So start talking to them about where else could we go? Where are our customers? Are they somewhere outside of the public shopping market? And let them put their heads together and work through this. We did this with the staff to see what kind of ideas they came up with. And I put a couple on here. There's a whole inspiration sheet on the website that you can share with your Girl Scouts. You can use them if you have a dog park and you want to go try it out. Just see what ideas your girls have, because I bet there's going to be a lot of really cool ideas that none of us has even thought of. And making the sales pitch script, how they're going to attract their customers, it's such a good learning experience for them, but also they're going to have some really great ideas for it. So I highly encourage you to try this with your girls, even your younger girls, and see what comes out of that meeting and try it out with your troop. Try to go to some of these places. Now, these would be troop secured places. So it wouldn't affect your 60 selection, your 60 booth selection. You could go to as many dog parks as you wanted to. You still want to put them in Smart Cookie, and you want to really do that for the booth allocator, and also so that people on National Cookie Finder can come find you. But I just wanted to let you know this resource was there and that you can use it, and you might be surprised at what your girls come up with and how much fun they have with this activity. Are there any questions about booths?
Nope.
Nope, we're good. All right. So cookie booth kits, real quick. Deadline to order to pick these up at Cookie Rally is in a couple of days, January the 10th. They're super cute. There's 3 of them. Scan that QR code. You can do your shopping, and we'll reach out to you with any additional questions if we have any. All right, so let's talk about home delivery. and preparing for that, if you order over 600 cases that initial order, then you do qualify for home delivery. I'm so sorry. A lot of people are asking if they can combine with other troops if they're not worried about the initial order rewards and they want to combine with other troops because the delivery is more important to them. Yes, that's absolutely fine. Our recommendation is if you are combining initial orders with another troop to put it in writing before the initial order is placed. So I want to make sure you understand that if you troop 623 is going to order for two other troops and y'all are all going to combine it and Sally from troop 623 puts the order in smart cookies, then according to Gateway, Sally's the one that ordered all of these cookies, right? So you want to make sure that you have something in writing from the other troops that say, "Now I'm ordering 200 of these cases," so that they can't change their mind when the cookies are delivered and say, "You know what? I really only want 150 cases." So, and now Sally from 623 is stuck with those other cases. CYA, put it in writing, but you absolutely can combine with other troops. Keep in mind that if you combine with other troops, only the troop that placed the order is going to be the one that gets the initial order rewards. And so that's a discussion between y'all. We will be delivering January 29th through February the 5th. Our local distributors are going to take the rosters that we collect on initial order day and they will they'll create a schedule for all of them that works out best for them. They'll send it back out to us. We'll call you guys and and let you know. We do try to get that information to you as soon as possible. There have been times where we have not been able to tell you until 24 hours before the appointment. And so if that does not work for your schedule, then don't select home delivery. You do have to have a person there it to accept the cookies. It is a block of time. So like between 12 and 4 or between 12 and 2, it's a block of time. It's not a guaranteed time. Adult has to be present, and it is a door-to-door service. So that means they're going to drop your cookies on the driveway. If you have a cleaned out garage and they can push the pallet in, they will be happy to push the pallet in your garage, but they will not unload the cookies and take them into your living room for you. So they're going to put the pallet on your driveway, and then you will have to process those cookies and take care of the pallet. They're not going to take the pallet with them when they go. So if any of that doesn't feel like it would be good for a good fit for you, then you can always select Mega Drop. Just because you qualify for home delivery don't mean you have to utilize it. So there's that. Now, once you do get Mega Drop, or once you do get cookies from home delivery, you can start selling them. So I mean, that's fine. Your girls can go out and start delivering them. That is a perk of home deliveries that you get your cookies a little bit earlier. Mega Drop is February 6th and 7th. We're not going to go into details about how to prepare for that so much. We'll talk a lot about that next week or next month. But I wanted you to see the locations that you have available to you when you put in your initial order. I think it's important to note in Jacksonville, there has been a big difference. We've combined several mega drops into one. So Orange Park and Nassau and Regal were all combined into Coleman Warehouse in Jacksonville. So it's open for 2 days, both Friday and Saturday. So if you always went to Regal on Friday, you can still get your cookies on Friday. But it will be located at the Coleman Warehouse in Jacksonville. And also, Lake City has been combined with Gainesville. And so that drop, anybody in Lake City, you would pick up. I mean, you could pick up in Jacksonville too. Really, it's kind of pretty close, either one of them to you. But those are your options. There will not be a Lake City drop this year. And that's it. Once you leave Mega Drop, Cookie Boost starts, right? It starts February 6th. It's boost season. So You can turn it around. Next. I'm so sorry. Um, at the next cookie call, we are going to talk about distributing the cookies to families. Once you get them at Mega Drop, what you do, what you need to be prepared for when you get to Mega Drop. We're going to talk about smart cookie allocations, cookie booth etiquette, cupboards, and obviously we'll spend some time on care to share allocations as well. So that'll be a very jam-packed meeting. We do try to keep these meetings to an hour to respect your time. I will tell you that February's meeting is probably going to last longer than an hour. So if you have that time constraint and you have to jump off before we finish the call, you can always go back and watch the tail end of it on GS Learn later. It is always recorded. But it's just a lot of information. If anybody wants to volunteer to help with Mega Drop, it takes a lot of hands to move those cookies. It really is a very fun day. It's exciting to be out there and to see everybody getting their cookies. The only qualifications you have to volunteer is the ability to bend, because obviously you're picking up cookies and putting them in a car. The ability to be able to lift 25 pounds on repeat. We don't always lift 25 pounds. A case don't cost isn't 25 pounds, but it's back-breaking work. And you got to be 14 years or older. If you know any CSA, Girl Scouts, or any high school students, they don't have to be Girl Scouts. Any high school students that's looking to earn some volunteer hours for Bright Futures or something like that. Any companies or organizations that support their uh, employees being able to go to service volunteer days. If you know anybody like that, then reach out to us. We love to have people helping. It's a lot of fun. There's coffee and donuts, and yeah, we'd love to see you out there on the volunteer side. All right. Do we have any questions that we need to talk about?
No, but
Wow.
we got them all answered in the chat.
Oh, great. Okay. All right. Well, do we have any last minute questions to wrap up before we sign off for the night? Thank you all for coming. Yep. All right. So we hope you find these very beneficial. We're trying to make sure that you have the information that you need when you need it and not bombarding you at the beginning of season. We will take a look at creating some helpful tools for families on how to split up their cookie cells. So keep an eye in Rallyhood for that, and it will be a topic of discussion in our March connection call.
And then Anne, good. You did have a question right after I told Shayla no more questions. If you want to unmute and ask your question.
Hi, I have a question.
Yes.
When you're doing the order in Smart Cookie, and it's by cookies, not by girl, and by cases, once you finish, do you click the ready to review and that's it? Or can you save your data and then come back, or it's only at the time you're doing it?
So anything you enter in here, when you hit save, it's going to save for you. So if you don't hit ready for review, you can come back and manipulate. I'm sorry. Manipulate that as many times as you need to. So
Okay.
you saw me put this in earlier, and I've already selected my Mega Drop location, but I can go back in here and I can put in any more and just make sure that I hit save. Remember, you're ordering in cases, not packages. And then I can hit save again, and it's going to update it. Now, did want to bring this to light. If you, for our Mega Drop, we have a limit, and I want to say it's like 200 cases in a 5-minute spot, a 5-minute appointment. So when you go in and you make your first appointment with Mega Drop, if you have under 200 cases, you're only going to need one appointment slot, 5 minutes. If you go back in and you add another 300 cases of cookies and you no longer fit in that 1 5-minute slot, it's going to kick you out and it's going to move you to a time for you to select that allows for the amount of cookies that you have. So I can't even get in on this one. So just keep that in mind. But yes, you can manipulate this as many times as you want as long as you hit save when you're done. I would not hit the ready for review. If you slide this ready for review over and hit save, you will not be able to manipulate it anymore. And there's no need for you to do that because we'll see your initial order as long as you hit save and it will be submitted.
Okay,
So,
that's what I meant. So even when I'm done, there is no reason for me to ever do that because as long as it's in there before midnight, you will see everything and I would be final without having to do that button.
correct.
Just save. Okay,
As long
just
as you
wanted to make
hit
sure.
save. Yeah.
I'm
And
sorry.
as long as you hit save.
I
And
got you. Okay.
just as a like foolproof, I would, because I always like to check things twice, right? I would go back out to my dashboard and then I would go back in and make sure that my numbers are still right. That lets me know I hit save.
Okay.
Okay, I have one.
Go ahead.
Okay, so after Mega Drop, when is the soonest that we could put in a cupboard order?
So depending on your location and when your cupboard opens, I would say probably Monday is going to be the best case. Most cupboards will open on Monday, but some cupboards may not open till Tuesday or Wednesday. So you're going to find a cupboard that's open on Monday. It's going to be dependent on whether you want to drive that far or not. But Monday will be the soonest.
Okay, Monday. So we would have to put in, if that location is open on Monday, we would have to put the order in Sunday,
Sunday before noon.
Sunday by noon. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, 32254. Oh, okay. All
And
right.
so if you're looking in Smart Cookie at any cupboards that are in there, we do not have cupboard managers for all of those. So if we don't have a cupboard manager for a location, that cupboard may go away. You can't depend on which cupboards are going to be near to you. Those are the cupboards ideally that we want. If we can't find somebody to volunteer for them, they may they may come off of that list. So
Right.
until
Okay.
that Sunday, we won't know for sure which cupboards are what.
But will it accept the order, not knowing if there's going to be people working there Monday?
Oh no. It would already be off by then. We wouldn't open it up to be able to take appointments
Okay.
if we can't find somebody to manage that cupboard. We
Okay.
won't open it.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Do we have anything else? Anybody else?
Yeah, I have one question. After making the initial order, how do we go in and put the boxes in for like the girls' inventory? Like, do we update that?
Yeah, you don't have to update it right then. You absolutely can. But you will go to your orders and then go to transfer order. And here at type of transfer, you're going to transfer troop to girl. When you do that, this is going to allow you to pull up all of your girls. So you just click on one and hit apply, and then you can transfer out cookies to her. I would say this order notes section, you can type in whatever you need to type in to remind you, but I would highly suggest anytime you are transferring cookies that you use this order notes, because at the end of season, when you're going back and you're trying to match them up with receipts and figure out your movements, it's easier if you have some notes in here that tell you what you did it for. And if you're transferring for digital cookie, you can always put that order number that you saw on this spreadsheet. The order number is right here. So I would highly suggest you use the note fields when you're doing transfers.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Kim, did you have a question?
Yeah, I do. And I apologize. I missed the first like 6 minutes. So if you covered this. Um, in the old system, I could toggle back and look at previous years of my troops' actual sales so I could get our percentages right. Because the cookie calculator hasn't been accurate for our troop. Can you show me how to see last year's sales by flavor?
Yeah, you can't, you are not going to be able to view it like we could in the previous system where you just kind of click to the last year and it looks like it. The only thing you can do is pull reports. And I can't unfortunately show you because this is a training site. But if you go to the reports tab, you'll see
Mm-hmm.
current and then you'll also see archived. And
Mm-hmm.
archived reports will be from last year. And so you can pull your troop cells from that. But we
But I
did,
can't, sorry, there's a bunch of different ones. Do you know which one it might be? Because I haven't found one that breaks down the troop and flavor.
no, we can look for it and see if we can find it, but the reports are a little bit cumbersome. Um,
Antiquated?
yeah.
Yeah.
So they're working on it. I'll just say that they're working on it. Um,
Oh,
so we can look to see, Kim, if we can help you, if we can get you those stats for your total sales by variety is what you're wanting.
yes,
Like you
please.
want to know how many Thin Mints you sold altogether.
Correct.
Right.
Yes, so I can
So
just make sure.
I will look tomorrow to see if I can find a report that you can pull. If I
Okay,
cannot
and then
find a report that you can pull, then I will get those numbers for you.
thank you. And then follow-up question. Last year, because it was our first year with ABC, the calculator was based on national averages. This year, is the calculator at least based on council averages,
Oh
or is
yeah,
it still
the
national?
calculator
Okay.
got an update. This is
Okay.
based on council averages, and also a key thing that we changed this year for the calculator is that we put in a spot to count for cells that we're shipping and care to share because
Okay.
those,
I noticed that. Thank you.
yeah, those don't really come from your physical cookie stock. So we wanted to make sure that that was in there. But yes, all of these numbers, the variety splits have been changed to last year's Gateway Council cells. Explore More is at 9% because we don't
Okay.
have, that's typically nationally what they will sell out.
Okay. Thank you for your help.
Uh-huh. If that's all the questions we have, then we thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate y'all coming out. We are always here for you as well as your CPM. So please, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to us, especially in regards to initial order, because we want to make sure that you are comfortable with the order that you're placing on January 8th. So don't hesitate to reach out if you need us. We're here for you. Other than that, have a great night, and we will see you February 5th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern.
Have a good night.